Okay, we're going to take an old wooden ladder that's too rickety to be using anymore for standing on and using, and instead of throwing it out into the garbage, turn it into a lattice for out in the garden. Basically, we're just going to take apart the rungs and the legs and everything like that, and I will be using these legs right here, this one over here, and then the back ones for the main stairs are on, and turn it into a lattice. So we'll show you how to do that and be back very shortly. Okay, so now the ladder's taken apart entirely, and I've taken the two front rails of the ladder, which would be here and this one, and I've laid them out side by side. The old metal rods that were underneath the actual steps of the ladder won't provide any real support for the ladder from caving in on itself, but they will add for aesthetics for me first of all, and they will stop the ladder, the now new trellis, from buckling outward. The top of it is just an old ladder step, one of the stairs. It just happens to work out that way. So what I did do was I figured out all the metal bars like I had talked about earlier, and I tapered it up so that the bottom is actually, I believe, about 20 inches wide, and moving up here towards the top is approximately 17, measured on the outside. And then what I did do was I took the old wooden bars that were holding the paint tray or the paint shelf to the ladder, and I'm going to take those and tack them onto the legs of the ladder so that they're going to be attached just like this, offering me the ability to stick this into the ground, and then possibly on this opposite side drive that into my raised garden bed. We'll show you that all very shortly. Okay, so we've got the trellis is now completed as far as the framework goes. You can see it's entirely pieces of the ladder. So this ladder was garbage. I've recycled it into now a trellis. Cost me absolutely nothing to do. Just out of all pieces that were here. I even flipped up a pot for the top so you could put a small pot with something up there so that maybe it can hang down. This is just going to be a trellis for peas. So structurally it doesn't have to be a whole ton, but I've actually done a pretty decent job of getting this to be quite secure. Again, here at the bottom are some nice stakes for it to go into the ground, and I will show you the front end now, this being the back. Again, there's that top shelf bracket I was telling you about. You could put a nice pot on top of there. These metal bars obviously were just from underneath the steps themselves. A little bit of cross bracing from pieces that were the ladder. This middle piece here and that back piece there were actually the front legs, which I decided not to use for the sides of the trellis, but what I did do was use them for bracing. Again, here is the stakes for in the ground. We can see that there's definitely a gap there. This is going to be just touching the ground right here. We'll just be touching the ground again over here, and then I can run this part into my raised bed. I will throw spikes into here, well, screws actually, so I can remove it and reuse this next season. That's where the screws will go. Now all I have to do is on these horizontal pieces of metal, I'm going to just run now vertical pieces of string. I even have some old copper wiring I could use. Maybe I'd use that for aesthetics, but I'll go from here to here about every, I don't know, about every 4 inches for beans. I really don't expect them to get much taller than 3 feet or so. This whole structure is about 6 feet tall presently. Okay, there it is, completed project. It's got, actually you could have used sisal twine for the verticals, I happened to have a bunch of copper wiring sitting around, so I've used that. That'll just give me that kind of cool patina look to it. But there it is. What I did do with the copper wiring was I have twisted it around and then knotted it off with a smaller little linking piece. So that's it. Hope you guys can make one. It really is a pretty neat project. So that's that one.